record stores.
Mm-hmm.
So in your travels internationally, what are some of like the best record stores you've been to? London, Japan, or here in the States?
I mean, sadly, all of my favorite record stores are gone. You know, that is the tragedy of what has happened. I mean, that's just, you know, that was eBay and Discogs that put a lot of them to bed. I know in New York a lot, you know, new record stores keep popping up, which is a beautiful thing. But there was a record store outside of just outside of Tokyo. I had to take a train there. It's like 45 minutes into the suburbs, like next to a McDonald's, this like tiny little like hole in the wall, just dedicated to Japanese female pop artists.
Are you serious?
I'm like, how specialized can this get? And like, how is there a record store like in the suburbs of Tokyo made for me? I spent hours there and I was just so blissed out and so happy. It was a joy. And I found so many of my best records there. Then in another place where I lived in Tokyo, in Nishi Shinjuku, which is one of like a main hub, there was a record store called Baby Pop, which is like on the 5th floor of a business, you know, building. And that was dedicated to French pop. So it's like, it's such a weird thing.
Stereolab.
Right. So the amazing thing about Tokyo and the record shops is like they're not storefronts necessarily. You have to go into like, say, a 20-floor building. You go to the 15th floor, there's like, you know, 10 different offices on each floor. And in one of those offices, you open the door and it's a record shop. So just that experience is so fun because it's like not what we know, right? We're used to a storefront record shop. So I love that about Tokyo. So Baby Pop, this special female Japanese store. In London, there was a place in Croydon, and again, right outside of London, called Beano's, which was like 4 floors. And they had like every hit single you could ever want, right? So if you're a DJ and you're like, I need to get like a Janet Jackson, you know, top, you know, what have you done for me lately, right? I need that on 45, like tonight. You can go to Beano's and like get that. And then they also had really specialized stuff. And there was this older man there who looked like a wizard because he had this really long white beard and he was kind of intimidating and he was very cool, like a man of few words. And he would just stand behind the counter and he was the one that like presided over the rare 45 boxes. So I'd be like, sir, can I please see your 60s British girl singer boxes? And he'd like look at me, turn around, get these big metal boxes, bring them out for me. And I would find like the best rare 45. So that's another spot that was like, you know, very dear to my heart in my formative years.
So I want to dig inside your record collection.
Yeah.
So what is the rarest record in your collection?
Oh, goodness me. I sound so British saying that. Well, I have a record by a Turkish teenager who grew up in Israel, and her name is Grazia, and she released a record in the late 70s that her father basically put her in the studio and made this amazing psychedelic funk disco record. And when I went to Israel, I was a friend of mine. We were in this tiny record shop. Israel has some great record stores, by the way. Wow. And so in this tiny record shop, and my friend is flipping through this, and he's like, Sheila, I think you would like this. He pulls up the Grazia record. I'm like, that's the Grazia record. So I'm like freaking out. And of course, it's very expensive. I mean, I think it was like $400. I usually don't pay that much money for one record. And I said, will you keep it for me? Can I just sleep on it? Because I'm going to have to spend this much money on a record. I really need to like know if that like this is the right thing. So I went home. I went back to our like Airbnb, like slept on it, couldn't sleep because I was like, I have to get it. Went back the next day, and now that is like the prized record in my collection. So that record and a record by Brunetta, an Italian singer called Baluba Shake. It's a 45 that I won on eBay, and that's a very hard to find record. So yeah.